What have I been thinking about of late? Things that I believe are going to be relevant to humanity moving forward, and perhaps your life. My name's Turab. I make videos about emotional intelligence, about finance, about spirituality, about leadership, anything really that I find passion in, and hopefully trying to put it out there for you to absorb and use in your own life in some capacity. What I've been thinking about a lot is the push and the pull in life. The necessity for us to live a unique life and how to channel that into actually being productive, useful members of society. The reason that I say that being a productive, useful member of society is actually of tangible use to each of us is because that determines our value, and our value often determines what we're capable of making in terms of our income, in terms of our friends, in terms of our opportunities. And one of the things that I came across recently is how important it is for us to consistently be picking up different skill sets. And I think a lot of us get pigeonholed by school and by our parents and by society to go and pick up a very specialized skill set. And though it's very good to learn that, to learn the discipline that's required to really improve ourselves in some capacity in a specific skill set, I believe over time the dividends are reduced to a degree. And the reason that I say that is because the world is constantly evolving, and I believe we are constantly evolving. I believe that human beings are probably happiest when we changed a decent amount from 5 years ago, especially when we're in our early teens to our 20s to our 30s. I think there should be a lot of change that should happen in our life. It makes life interesting to live. It makes it unique and novel in a lot of ways. And so when I say picking up different skill sets, I'm getting this from Rich Dad Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki, and the fact that his rich dad taught him how important it is to have the ability to sell things to people, the ability to communicate quite well, the ability to manage teams and lead troops in a sense, and the ability to understand kind of the overarching image, the overarching picture, and how to create valuable opportunities for different people and companies, organizations, perhaps even ourselves. And for me personally, picking up different skills has been a lot of fun and a good challenge to keep my mind engaged in life, which I think a lot of us are looking for, frankly speaking. I think part of the reason that we go on TikTok and Instagram and all of these kind of things that don't make us feel that good about how we're spending our time is because we're not challenged in some essential way. We're not spending the energy and the discipline to actually grow as human beings. So I say to you that the importance of doing all of the discovering of the skill sets, the consistent opportunities that can arise from learning from different people, from learning from perhaps a different company, a different job, I think are valuable. So if you're feeling lost in some capacity, specialization is very good. It'll give us a firm ground to actually have funds to pull from, to feel stable, to actually have those basic Maslow's hierarchy of needs. But at the end of the day, we need to consistently be growing to have a satisfying life. So that's one of the things I've been thinking about recently. And the reason, the way that I'm kind of augmenting my life currently is I'm carving out chunks of time where I can sit there and be creative. And I'm carving out chunks of time where I want to have meetings and consistently growing my outside perspective. The reason is because the contrast is very important in determining who we are and whether or not we're satisfied with our life. And I want to build in very specific moments in a week, in a month, where I get that contrast, where I get the moments alone, as well as the ability to increase my communication skills and present opportunities and sell things to people and have weird, unique experiences that I haven't had before. It gives me a wider perspective, hopefully, to help people and to enjoy my own life in a lot of ways. And the way that I do this, I actually use Google Calendar. Google Calendar has been extraordinary in terms of organizing my life, to the point where, looking back, I almost can't imagine how exactly I led a productive life without a calendar of sorts. Scheduling meetings was almost impossible and quite a pain in the ass, because I would have to lay out every single time period that I might be free in the next week, and then that has to somehow align with the other person's time period, and then they have to send me an email back and say, does this work for you? And if I don't respond in time, then perhaps that time slot will fill up for them. So in terms of meetings, at the very least, it's been tremendous. Couldn't recommend it more. Put your work schedule in, put the things that you want to chunk in into your weeks, your workouts, your mandatory book club sessions, your time to paint, your time to go and hike and explore your life, and put it into a format where if someone wants access to your time, they know the most efficient way to get it. And I don't know why more people don't use this stuff, especially considering how very, very efficient it is, but also how it kind of keeps me accountable in a lot of ways. That I can write down, okay, today's going to be my maker day, and there's a certain energy that comes with that, almost a peace that comes with that, a responsibility that comes with that. I've also been thinking a lot about relationships. I've been thinking about the importance of perhaps a family life in the scheme of a young man's life or a young woman's life, or why it might be important to have families in society. I've been spending more time with my mother, as my father passed away when I was 9 years old, and sometimes I wonder what life would be like if he was around. But it also taught me that we gotta spend the time, guys. Like, really. I mean, unless your family is just incredibly abusive and not great for your health, if they're actually good for you and have provided and given a shit, I think it's our responsibility, at the very least, to look after them in the sense of being friends, not being a stranger. And I've been telling my interns in the Turabify network that that's an important thing to build in, especially in college, because our parents never really know what's going on with us. And a lot of the times, even if they have different perspectives, it's a perspective that's necessarily different. And that I value a lot more in life nowadays. As I believe as an individual moves forward into their future, their financial future, their whatever future, I believe the importance of, how do I say this while I fix my camera? I believe it becomes more and more important to have ways out of our echo chamber. Let me explain. When we like certain things, we tend to go and subscribe to certain accounts that tell us, yes, you're correct. Yes, you're part of this tribe. We tend to buy certain things that make us feel a specific way. We tend to spend time with people that make us feel like our opinions are warranted. And I think it's super, super important as we move towards that almost bouncer mentality in our life to say, hey, this person's not worth my time, and this person is worth my time, and this person's not worth investing in, this person I love, so I'm going to go and give a bunch of stuff to. It takes a diversity of opinions to capture really what this life is all about, and also whether or not we're on the right path in our own lives. So use it at the very least as a diverse opinion source. They're probably not always going to be right, as we're probably not always right. But the reason that I'm spending time with her now is because I realize These are kind of the golden years, guys. You know, of our lives and of their lives, of all of us, right? These are the years that make all of the difference. Because if these aren't the years, then we're never going to find that in the years to come. The moments are very important. Planning ahead, phenomenal. Especially financially, especially for opportunities. Planning ahead is key, essential. But we only plan ahead really for creating incredible moments. So spend the time to care. Spend the time to build out your calendar, your life the way that you want it. Place the big rocks where they need to be before you put the pebbles in the sand in. You'll feel the volume, you'll feel the time, you'll feel the satisfaction a lot more. In my personal opinion. And remember, it's going to take time. I say this to you, to say this to myself. It takes time to build. And it takes time to discover what works. You know, we have to struggle and we have to get mentors and learn the hard way in order for it to feel successful and satisfying. Anyway, some thoughts of mine recently. Hopefully you enjoyed some of them. Let me know if you think any of these philosophies are off base. I would love to recorrect and perhaps have a diversity of opinions from you guys. Actualize your potential catalyst. Smash that like button. Share, subscribe. Helps me out a lot. Throwing me a comment, even you suck to Rob comment is phenomenal. Any sort of engagement, really helpful. And then check out Turabify.com and go and buy some artwork if you want to support the brand. I'll probably put a Patreon link sooner or later for those of you that get some value out of my rambles. But for now, the art page is up. So actualize your potential catalyst. This world needs you. Take care of yourself.